What if I told you that the silver market, something we've always known to be stable and predictable, just flipped on its head, a premium surge of $12, only to crash down with a $13 loss in a matter of hours? How is that even possible? Friends, in this volatile world, we're not just witnessing market chaos, we're experiencing a reflection of the spiritual turbulence within ourselves. Just like the silver, we're being tested. Our values, our convictions, and our sense of security. And in these moments we must ask, how will we rise above the storm? For most of us, stability feels like the ultimate goal. We crave it, we search for it, and we believe that once we find it, everything will fall into place. We think that once we have the perfect job, the ideal relationship, or the dream house, life will finally be secure. But here's the truth. There is no such thing as stability in this life. We live in a world that is constantly changing, constantly evolving, and if we're honest with ourselves, that is both the greatest challenge and the greatest opportunity. Stability is an illusion, a mirage we chase, thinking that it's the key to happiness. And every time we think we've found it, something shifts beneath our feet, and we're reminded of how fragile our sense of control really is. Life does not follow a straight line. It is full of unexpected turns, surprising moments, and yes, chaos. Change is the only constant. We might think we can predict the future, control our circumstances, or hold on to what we love, but we can't. Life is fluid, ever-changing, and trying to resist it will only create more pain. Think about it for a moment. When was the last time everything in your life went exactly as you planned? When did you get everything you thought you wanted, only to realize that it wasn't the thing that brought you peace? Maybe it was the perfect job, the dream house, or a picture-perfect relationship. And for a while it was exactly what you wanted. But then, without warning, the ground beneath you shifted, and suddenly everything that seemed so secure was in question. That's because stability is a concept that we create in our minds. It is an illusion that we believe is achievable, but deep down we know that it is constantly at risk of being taken away. This is not to say that we should stop trying to find balance or peace in our lives. It's not to suggest that we shouldn't strive for security, but we need to acknowledge that true stability comes not from external circumstances, but from within. When we stop clinging to the illusion of stability and accept that change is inevitable, we begin to realize that we don't need to control everything. We can find peace in the chaos, we can find stability within ourselves, regardless of the external storms that surround us. Every challenge, every change, every moment of instability is an invitation to grow. It's an opportunity to discover who we really are when the familiar disappears. Think about the times in your life when you faced the most significant growth. Was it during times of comfort, when everything was predictable? Or was it when your world was turned upside down, when you were forced to adapt, when you had no choice but to confront the unknown? It is in these moments of change that we find our true strength, resilience, and capacity for transformation. When we realize that stability is an illusion, we stop fearing change. We start seeing it as a natural part of life, something that we can't control, but something that we can flow with. Change becomes our teacher. It becomes the very thing that helps us evolve into the best version of ourselves. So instead of resisting it, we can choose to embrace it. Instead of clinging to the past or wishing for the future to stay still, we can accept that change is not just a part of life, it is life, and in that acceptance we find freedom. Life is a dance of opposites, growth and decay, success and failure, joy and sorrow. Stability will come in brief moments, but true peace comes from the ability to flow with change, to find your center no matter what life throws your way. So let go of the need for perfection, the desire for things to stay the same. Trust that the universe in its infinite wisdom is always guiding you forward, even when the path is unclear. Loss is one of the most difficult experiences we can go through. It shakes us to our core, challenges our beliefs, and forces us to confront the harsh realities of life. Whether it's the loss of a loved one, the end of a relationship, the collapse of a dream, or the failure of something we've worked for, the pain of loss feels like an overwhelming weight on our shoulders. We find ourselves asking, why me, or why now? We search for meaning in the midst of the pain, but often all we find is emptiness. In those moments it can feel as though everything is falling apart, and we are left standing alone in the ruins. But here's the truth that many of us don't want to hear. Loss is not a punishment, it is a part of life. It is not a sign that we've failed or that we are unworthy. It is a natural cycle that we all must face. And in the face of loss, the greatest gift we can give ourselves is faith. Faith that even when everything seems lost, something greater is waiting for us on the other side. Faith in the face of loss is not easy. It's not about pretending that everything is fine or denying the pain. It's not about putting on a brave face and pretending that you're okay when you're not. Faith in loss is about trusting that there is a reason, even when you can't see it, and that this moment of heartbreak is part of a greater plan. It's about knowing that even in your deepest pain, you are not alone. When we lose something or someone we love, we often feel like we're being torn apart. Our world feels unstable, and we begin to question everything we thought we knew. The ground beneath our feet feels shaky, and we wonder how we can move forward when it feels like we've lost so much. But this is where faith becomes essential. Faith is what allows us to trust that even in the depths of our sorrow, we are still being guided. It is the belief that though we can't understand the why or the how, there is a greater force at work in our lives, leading us toward healing and growth. In the darkest moments of loss, faith is the light that guides us. It is the inner knowing that what we are experiencing, no matter how painful, is not the end. It is a transition, a chapter that will lead to something greater. It's easy to hold on to the past and mourn what we've lost, but faith asks us to release it, to trust that our future is not defined by what has been taken from us, but by what we are still becoming. Think about the times in your life when you've experienced loss. It may have felt unbearable in the moment, and you may have wondered how you could ever move on. But now, looking back, you can see how those moments shaped you, how they helped you grow in ways you never imagined. Sometimes loss forces us to rebuild ourselves. It forces us to let go of what no longer serves us and create space for new opportunities, new lessons, and new possibilities. Faith in the face of loss is not about ignoring the pain. It's about allowing yourself to feel it fully and then trusting that you will heal. It's about knowing that even when it feels like the world is falling apart, something better is being prepared for you. It's the belief that loss is not a dead end, but a turning point, an opportunity to grow, to evolve, and to become a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. In those moments of loss, we often ask ourselves, why is this happening to me? The answer isn't always clear, but faith is the ability to trust that there is a greater purpose behind it all. Even when the road ahead is unclear, we can trust that we are being guided, that we are being shaped by this experience into the person we need to become. Loss has the power to break us, but it also has the power to rebuild us. It strips away the layers of who we thought we were and reveals a deeper strength, a deeper resilience, and a deeper sense of purpose. It forces us to confront our deepest fears and teaches us that we are capable of handling much more than we think. And in that process, we find a deeper connection to ourselves and to the world around us. So when loss comes knocking, don't fight it. Don't resist it. Instead, surrender to it. Allow yourself to grieve, but do so with faith that through this pain you will emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your true purpose. Trust that there is a greater plan unfolding even if you can't see it yet. And know that in the face of loss you are not alone. You are being held, you are being guided, and you are being transformed. Loss is not the end. It is the beginning of something new, something greater. And with faith you will rise again, stronger than before. Believe that even in the darkest moments, there is light waiting for you on the other side. And when you look back, you will see how every loss, every heartbreak, every struggle was simply a stepping stone leading you to the greatness that was always meant for you. Chaos. It's a word that most of us fear. It stirs up images of destruction, confusion, and instability. It feels like everything is falling apart, like we're losing control and the world is spinning out of our grasp. We fight it, we resist it, we try to avoid it at all costs, thinking that chaos is something that only leads to pain, suffering, and failure. But what if I told you that chaos is not your enemy? What if I told you that chaos is actually the very thing that will propel you to your next level of greatness? What if the chaos you're running from is actually the catalyst for your growth? The truth is, growth doesn't happen in comfort. It doesn't happen when everything is predictable, when everything is neat and tidy. Growth happens when we are thrown into the unknown, when we are pushed out of our comfort zones and into the storms of life. It happens when we face challenges that force us to question everything we thought we knew, when we confront uncertainty and still choose to move forward. It's in the chaos that we are transformed. Think about the last time your life felt like it was falling apart. Maybe you were dealing with a personal crisis, a financial setback, or a dream that didn't pan out. You felt lost, confused, maybe even helpless, and yet in the midst of that chaos, something shifted inside you. Maybe it took a while, maybe it was messy, but eventually, you found strength you didn't know you had. You learned lessons you would never have learned otherwise. You evolved into a stronger, more resilient person because of the chaos you faced. That's what growth does. It doesn't ask for your comfort. It asks for your willingness to face the unknown and rise up in the face of it. Now I know what you're thinking, but chaos hurts. It's uncomfortable. It makes me feel like I'm losing everything. And I hear you. Chaos does hurt. It's uncomfortable. It's painful, and it often feels like it's never ending. But here's the thing. The pain of chaos is not the end. It's the beginning. It's a process that is shaping you, refining you, and preparing you for the greatness that's coming. Just like a fire refines gold, chaos refines you. It burns away what no longer serves you, and what's left is the pure, unshakable strength that you will carry forward into the next chapter of your life. We don't grow when everything is easy. We grow when we face adversity. We grow when we're challenged, when we're forced to adapt and evolve. Chaos is the crucible in which our true potential is revealed. It's the pressure that turns coal into diamonds. It's the storm that clears the path for new growth. Without chaos, we would never reach the levels of success, wisdom, and strength that we are capable of. It's the very thing that forces us to evolve and become the person we're meant to be. But here's the key. You have to embrace the chaos. You can't fight it, you can't resist it, you can't run away from it. You have to walk straight into it with your head held high, knowing that on the other side you will be stronger. The more you fight against chaos, the more it will consume you. But when you choose to face it, to surrender to it, and to trust that it is leading you to something better, that's when the real magic happens. Embracing chaos is about trusting the process, even when you don't understand it. It's about letting go of your need to control every single outcome, and trusting that life is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. Chaos is not a punishment, it is a teacher. It is not something to fear, it is something to learn from. And when you open yourself up to the lessons it brings, you will discover a strength and resilience that you never knew existed. Think about the storms in nature. They may be violent, they may be destructive, but once they pass, they leave the earth richer, more fertile, and ready to support new life. Chaos in your life is the same. It may feel destructive, but once the storm clears, you will emerge stronger, more aligned with your purpose, and ready to step into the next phase of your journey. And when you look back on the chaos, you will see that it was the very thing that helped you grow, that helped you become the person you were always meant to be. I know that facing chaos can be terrifying. I know that uncertainty can feel overwhelming. But what if instead of fearing the chaos, you welcomed it? What if instead of resisting change, you embraced it as the pathway to your growth? What if instead of seeing chaos as something that threatens your peace, you saw it as the very thing that will bring you to a deeper sense of peace, wisdom, and purpose? The next time you're faced with a storm, don't run from it. Don't shy away from the discomfort. Stand tall in the middle of the chaos, knowing that you are being transformed. Know that even in the midst of the storm, you are growing. And when the storm passes, when the clouds clear, you will see the beautiful new life that has been born from the chaos. Chaos is not something to fear, it's something to embrace. Because within the chaos lies your greatest growth. And once you've learned to dance with the storm, there is no challenge, no obstacle, no difficulty that can ever break you. You are stronger than you realize, and chaos is the key to unlocking that strength. There are moments in life when it feels like time is slipping through our fingers, when everything seems to be moving forward for everyone else, while we stand still, wondering why things aren't happening for us. We've worked hard, put in the effort, and yet the breakthrough we're waiting for seems out of reach. We watch others achieve their dreams, cross their milestones, and we begin to question, why is this happening to them and not to me? It's easy to feel forgotten, overlooked, and frustrated when we think that the universe isn't listening to our pleas. But here's the hard truth we must all confront. Everything happens in divine timing, and while it may not be on our timeline, it's always exactly when it's meant to be. Divine timing is real, and when you truly trust it, everything begins to make sense. What we fail to understand in the moment of waiting, in the frustration of not seeing results, is that we are not being held back. No, we are being prepared. Life in its infinite wisdom has a way of guiding us toward what's best for us, even when we can't see it. When we are faced with delays, setbacks, or unfulfilled dreams, we must remember that the universe is never working against us. It is working for us, it is aligning everything perfectly, orchestrating every event, every encounter, and every circumstance to bring us closer to our true purpose. We may not understand it in the moment, but the timing is always perfect. Think about the seasons. We don't rush the seasons. We don't demand that spring comes faster or that winter ends sooner. We trust that each season comes at exactly the right time. And it's the same with our lives. Every stage, every season is necessary for us to grow, to evolve, and to prepare for what's next. The flowers bloom when they are ready. The fruit ripens when it's time. And in the same way, your time will come. You may feel like you're still in the winter of your life, still in the waiting period, but know that spring is coming. The seeds you've planted are growing beneath the surface. The preparation is happening, even if you can't see it yet. Divine timing is not something we control. We live in a world that tells us to make things happen, to hustle, to push through. But divine timing asks us to trust, to surrender, and to let go of the need to control the outcome. When we stop forcing things to happen and allow ourselves to flow with the rhythm of life, that's when the magic happens. Divine timing means knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even when we can't see the path ahead. When you look back on your life, you'll see that every moment, every setback, and every triumph came at the exact time you needed it. Maybe it wasn't what you expected, and maybe it wasn't on your timeline, but it was what you needed for your growth, for your evolution. Every challenge, every loss, every lesson has been leading you to this moment. And every experience, no matter how painful, was part of a divine plan. You may not see the purpose in the moment, but trust that every single experience is serving you, shaping you, and preparing you for what's coming next. Faith in divine timing is about releasing the need to know how things will unfold. It's about trusting that the universe has a plan that is greater than anything you could have imagined. When you stop trying to force the pieces into place and simply trust the process, that's when everything begins to flow effortlessly. It's like a river. When you try to fight the current, it pulls you under. But when you let go and go with the flow, the river takes you exactly where you need to be. Life works the same way. It's in those moments of uncertainty, of waiting, that faith is truly tested. And it's also in those moments that you will find your greatest strength. When you are patient, when you trust that everything is unfolding in divine timing, you are showing the universe that you believe in the greater plan. And the more you trust, the more you surrender, the more you will begin to see the signs that everything is moving in your favor. When you stop rushing, when you stop trying to make things happen before their time, you create the space for miracles to happen. And here's the most beautiful part. Divine timing isn't just about the big moments. It's about the small moments too. It's about recognizing the beauty in the waiting, the lessons in the stillness. When you can find peace in the pause, when you can trust in the silence, you will realize that every moment, whether fast or slow, is part of the journey, part of the divine unfolding. The timing of your life is perfect. The lessons you're learning are exactly what you need right now, and the opportunities that await you will come at the exact time you are ready to receive them. This is where surrender comes in. It's not about passivity or giving up. It's about releasing the need to control every single detail. It's about trusting that what is meant for you will come to you at the right time, and when it does, you will be ready. Divine timing asks you to trust the process, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable. It asks you to believe that you are being guided to exactly where you need to be, and that every delay, every moment of waiting is part of the plan. So when things aren't happening the way you want them to, when it feels like life is moving at a pace you can't control, take a deep breath and trust. Trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Trust that the universe is working behind the scenes, aligning the pieces, and preparing you for the next chapter. And when it's time, everything will fall into place. Divine timing is not something you can rush, but it is something you can trust. And when you do, you will see that all the delays, all the waiting, all the struggles were simply the universe's way of preparing you for the greatness that is on the horizon. Trust in the process and know that everything, absolutely everything, is happening for your highest good. In the end, trust that divine timing is always at work. Every delay, setback, and challenge is part of your journey, guiding you to your highest purpose. Embrace the waiting, surrender to the process, and believe that what's meant for you will come at the perfect time. Your path is unfolding, have faith in it.